Jatarin. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 15. We are hearing from Narad Muni. He is instructing to Yudhishthir Maharaj the principles to be followed by civilized human being. And so we read yesterday that the real religion is to surrender unto God. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam, says Yamraj. So, and Krishna is saying, surrender unto me. That's his instruction in Bhagavad Gita. Surrender unto me. And so that is religion actually, to surrender unto the Supreme Lord. And so any and every religion needs to teach that, to surrender to God, to love God, savepum samparo dharma. And if it doesn't, then there are those, it's called either a cheating religion or all those different names, misinterpretation of the religion. But real religion means to follow God's instructions, to surrender to God. And the supreme occupation for every living entity is that by which we can love God. So, devotional service is the supreme occupation so that we can revive our love for God. So, it brings us to today's verse, text 15. Dharmartham api neheta
Dharma artham api na ihita
yatra yatrartham va dhanodhanam
yatra artham va adhano dhanam
aniha niham manasya
aniha anihammanasya
mahahir iva vrittida.
mahahe iva vrittada.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Even if a man is poor, he should not endeavor to improve his economic condition just to maintain his body and soul together, or to become a famous religionist. Just as a great python, although lying in one place, not endeavoring for its livelihood, gets the food it needs to maintain body and soul, one who is desireless also obtains his livelihood without endeavor. Human life is simply meant for developing Krishna consciousness. One need not even try to earn a livelihood to maintain body and soul together. Lord Chaitanya was asking once Srivas Thakur, Srivas, you have such a big family, you have so many brothers. I don't see you going to work. How are you maintaining your family? What is happening? Why don't you go to work? Srivas said 3 times. Lord Chaitanya said, why? What do you mean 3 times? He said 3 times. If 3 times the Lord doesn't send me food, I will take all my family and we'll go drown in the Ganges. So Srivas had so much faith that the Lord is maintaining him, he's supporting him and his entire family. So Lord Chaitanya said he was appreciating Srivas's mood of surrender. Although Lord Chaitanya said that we can't imitate Srivas Thakur. Srivas Thakur is on another level himself. He had firm faith that Krishna is maintaining, Krishna will send food for him and his family. So here Narad Muni is saying that one shouldn't extra endeavor. This is illustrated here by the example of the great python which lies in one place, never going here and there to earn a livelihood to maintain itself, and yet is maintained by the grace of the Lord. As advised by Narad Muni, Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, Text 18, Tasyeva Heto, Prayateta Kovida. One should simply endeavor to increase his Krishna consciousness. One should not desire to do anything else, even to earn his livelihood. So, in this journey of life, what we are being said is that every step we take, we need to come closer and closer to Krishna, engage more and more in devotional service. There are many, many examples of this attitude. Madhavendra Puri, for instance, would never go to anyone to ask for food. Yeah, he was hungry, he had not eaten, but that's what he had decided, that he's not going to go beg for food. If somebody comes and gives him, he would take it. So Gopal came to him. He said, Baba, Baba, here, take this milk. My mother has sent some milk for you. Madhavendra Puri was like, what? How do you know what? Out of the blue, this small Gopa has come. And no, Baba, you take this. So he gave him the milk and said, what about the pot? He said, don't worry, I'll come back and take it later. Of course, Krishna didn't come to take the pot. Later, Madhavendra Puri realized that, oh, this was Gopal himself, you know. So he drank the milk, he saved the pot, he washed it. Every day he would have a little bit of the clay from the pot also. So this is the loving relationship between the pure devotee and Krishna. Sukadev Goswami has also said, Kasmat bhajanti kavayo dhana durmada dan dhan. Why should one approach a person who is blind with wealth? Rather, one should depend on Krishna and he will give everything. All the members of our Krishna consciousness movement, whether they be grahasthas or sannyasis, should try to spread the Krishna consciousness movement with determination, and Krishna will supply all necessities. And we can see that practically that's what's happening. The Krishna consciousness movement, when it just started, there was no money. The temples had no money. There were not barely any devotees there. But then the movement spread. So many people joined in, more and more devotees, and Krishna is taking care of the devotees. The process of Ajagar Vritti, the means of livelihood of a python, is very much appreciated in this regard. Even though one may be very poor, he should simply try to advance in Krishna consciousness and not endeavor to earn his livelihood. This is the message from Narad Muni. Well, someone may say, well, but I have a family, of children, I have to maintain them. So we need to do what needs to be done, but not over endeavor then. Be satisfied with what we are getting by Krishna's grace. And do what we need to do the work that needs to be done, but at the same time, hear and chant, give time to spiritual life. Um, there was this very poor brahmachari, there was Sridhar Kolaveka. He was a very poor man, poor devotee in Navadvip. He used to make money by selling like cups made of banana leaves. And whatever he would make, 50% of his income he would give for the worship of Mother Ganga. He himself was very poor because how much money can you make selling banana leaf cups? Every day, Nimai would come to be with him, meet him, talk to him, haggle the price. He would just bargain with him. No, give me cheaper, you're too expensive. And then Sridhar Kulavika would say, why are you troubling me? I'm just giving you, I'm barely surviving. But of course, it was their own relationship. Then Lord Chaitanya told him, ask me what boon you want. I can give you money, I can give you wealth, opulence. Sridhar told him, no, I don't need any money. He said, your house, it's all broken. There's water When it rains, all the water's coming inside your house. Don't you want wealth? You can live nicely. He said, no, I don't need wealth. I'm very happy. Just as the king is living in the palace and the bird is living in the tree according to their own karma, like that, I'm happy with whatever I'm making. And I'm happy that whatever income I make, I'm spending for the worship of Mother Ganga. So if you want to bless me, you just bless me that I can continue in this way. And that every time Nimai should come with me to me every day. And I can see him every day. And he continues to, you know, haggle the price with me. That was their relationship. Sridhar Kolavik and Lord Chaitanya, when Lord Chaitanya was having the Mahaprakash Leela in the house of Srivas Thakur, he was telling the devotees, go bring Kolavika Sridhar. They didn't even know who's Kolavika Sridhar. They didn't know. Mahaprabhu had to tell him, go here, go there, and then you'll see, go this way, then that way, and then you'll come across this kind of a very poor looking cottage, almost broken down home, and there you'll find Sridhar, and you bring him here. So, very humble devotee, but very simple devotee, but completely devoted to the Supreme Lord. Of course, these are great personalities, and we can't imitate them, but we can, you know, appreciate their devotion. We can desire that we can also be so renounced as they are, so devoted as they are, have so much faith, have faith, they have so much faith in Krishna, so much surrender to Krishna. So we can aspire to have their faith, that kind of faith, aspire to that, have that kind of surrender to Krishna. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Santushtasya nirihasya swatma ramasya yat sukham kutastat kama lobhena dhavato retha ayadisha.
Santu
Hmm.
संतुष्ट निर्हस्य स्व आत्म आरामस्य यत् सुखम. Is it you written there?
Hmm? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
Hari. Actually, for a few seconds, I was not able to hear you, so sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay. One who is content and satisfied, and who links his activities with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, residing in everyone's heart, enjoys transcendental happiness without endeavoring for his livelihood. Where is such happiness for a materialistic man who is impelled by lust and greed, and who therefore wanders in all directions with a desire to accumulate wealth? So, Narad Muni is pointing out the condition of the heart. Condition of a heart. We are looking for money, then our heart is full of lust and greed. So, where is the happiness in that? Whereas a devotee who's satisfied, who surrendered to Krishna, yeah, then he is always happy. Transcendental happiness. Just being in Krishna consciousness, he is happy because he surrendered to the Lord, accepting the will of the Lord. So he's satisfied, he's content. It doesn't mean we shouldn't do our duty. We do our duty. Whatever we need to do, we do our duty, but accept the will of the Lord. Like Lord Krishna told Arjuna, you fight. Not that I'm going to fight, you fight. But you act, don't be concerned with victory, defeat, honor, dishonor. You just do your duty. Sada santushta manasa
सदा संतुष्ट मनसः
sarva shiva maya disha
सर्वा शिवमया दिशः
sharkara kanta kadhibhyo
शर्करा कंठकादिभ्यो
Yathopanat pada shivam.
Yathopanatpada Shivam.
For a person who has suitable shoes on his feet, there is no danger, even when he walks on pebbles and thorns. For him, everything is auspicious. Similarly, for one who is always self satisfied, there is no distress. Indeed, he feels happiness everywhere. So, the devotee, Krishna conscious devotee, he's self satisfied. He's satisfied that whatever Krishna is giving me, I'm happy with that. He has faith in Krishna. He understands Krishna as my best friend. And so that's why he's always peaceful, he's always content, he's always satisfied. And that is the suitable shoes. This entire material world is a dangerous place. Padam padam yat vipadam. There's danger at every step. So Narad Muni is saying, one who has suitable shoes, then we don't get scared. If the path is full of stones or there's thorns, if we have proper footwear to protect our shoes. Similarly, the protection that we need in this material world is to catch tightly to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Hold on to his lotus feet. Santushtakena varajan
Santushtakena Mara Rajana.
na vartetapi varina
Na vartate api varina.
aupastya jevya karpanyad
Opasthya Jevya Karpanyat.
graha palayate janaha.
Graha Palayate Janaha.
My dear king, a self-satisfied person can be happy even with only drinking water. However, one who is driven by the senses, especially by the tongue and genitals, must accept the position of a household dog to satisfy his senses. According to the Shastras, a Brahmana or a cultured person in Krishna consciousness will not enter anyone's service to maintain body and soul together, and especially not for satisfaction of the senses. A true Brahmana is always satisfied. Even if he has nothing to eat, he can drink a little water and be satisfied. This is only a matter of practice. Unfortunately, however, no one is educated in how to be satisfied in self realization. As explained above, a devotee is always satisfied because he feels the presence of the Supersoul within his heart and thinks of him 24 hours a day. That is real satisfaction. A devotee is never driven by the dictations of the tongue and genitals, and thus he is never victimized by the laws of material nature. So the pure devotee, because he's Krishna conscious. He's conscious, Paramatma is in my heart, Krishna is in my heart. So he's happy. He's situated within. Like Sudama Brahman, for example. He was very poor, but he was very satisfied. He didn't want anything else. He was always singing the glories of Lord Krishna. So Prabhupada is saying, of course, now we don't have that kind of education, how to be satisfied, and how to completely depend on the Lord. Now we want more and more sense gratification. But the more we hear, the more we chant, then gradually, we can also become satisfied with what we have. So, real satisfaction we will feel when we can re-establish our relationship with Krishna. Understand Krishna is my best friend. Did you want to add anything? Comment anything?
Hare Krishna Shalpaji. I just wanted to share that yes, I agree that the satisfaction level over the years have gone down, because I remember that during our time, all brothers and sisters, we all used to share one room, and like not in a corner of our mind or heart, even that thought came that I need my own room or I need my privacy. We just shared the one toilet was there and the one bedroom was given to all of us. And we used to share it like nowhere that thought also. I'm just saying that maybe we were a little more satisfied in that time because the environment was such, and maybe our elders were giving us that kind of thing that, and we didn't even know that, I needed my own room, or that would be really nice, and I want to sleep and I want to hear I need my privacy. But now I see that how, uh, agree as the Prabhupada says that the education is not given actually, and then because we just have one child and we are busy fulfilling their needs even without even asking them. They don't have to ask. We are the ones who are doing that even without
Yeah.
them asking.
Yeah, it's so true. What you said is so true. The satisfaction level was much higher before. Yeah, so true. This example of sharing the room, all the siblings sharing a room, and
And then, I remember that we used to get clothes on every Diwali and your birthday, two dresses, and like, on the special, but we were so content. And today, even if you go on a normal Saturday, Sunday out, you buy three dresses, four dresses, still you're not content. I
yeah,
don't know. I mean, I'm talking about myself that yes, it happened. At that time, it was so much contentment. I don't know how, and maybe it was the time period, it was the people who surrounded you, like how you said, the association. It really mattered. They were all so pure that those kind of thoughts didn't come in your mind.
yeah, it's true. It's true. The satisfaction level earlier, the elders that they had was much higher.
Hmm.
It's true. Yeah. Okay. Asantushtasya viprasya
असन्तुष्टस्य विप्रस्य
tejo vidyatapo yashaha
तेजो विद्या तपो यशः
shavan shavantindriya laulyena
स्रवन्ति इन्द्रियालौल्येन
jnanam cheva vakiryate.
ज्ञानं च एव अवकीर्यते.
Because of greed, for the sake of the senses, the spiritual strength, education, austerity, and reputation of a devotee or brahmana who is not satisfied dwindle and his knowledge gradually vanishes. So, this is especially for a Brahman or a devotee who is not able to control the senses. Then, by not controlling the senses, then gradually his knowledge also will go away because then there's no satisfaction. Then the spiritual strength becomes weak, the reputation becomes weak, austerity becomes weak. Then gradually the knowledge also vanishes. But it applies to all of us, no? Because we don't control our senses, then we get so much more caught up, and then dissatisfaction comes in. So as you were just saying, now even if you buy so much, the satisfaction is not there. So then we can understand actually that gives us a glimpse really that actually we are not able to understand, but real satisfaction is in devotional service. Really, when we hear and chant, that is actually nourishing. That how that example is there, right? That when we eat food, then
Hmm.
simultaneously we feel satisfied, hunger goes away, we feel nourished. So similarly, the real satisfaction actually we can feel a little glimpse of it when we are actually engaged in devotional service. So we need to build on that, though. We forget about it. And then again, we get so caught up with our senses. Okay. Kamasyantam hi shutridbhyam
कामस्यान्तं हि श्रुत्याम्
krodhasya tatphalodayat
क्रोधस्य एतत् फलोद्यात्
jano yati na lobhasya
जनो याति न लोभस्य
jitva bhuktva disho bhuvaha.
चित्वा भुक्त्वा दिशो भुवः.
The strong bodily desires and needs of a person disturbed by hunger and thirst are certainly satisfied when he eats. Similarly, if one becomes very angry, that anger is satisfied by chastisement and its reaction. But as for greed, even if a greedy person has conquered all the directions of the world or has enjoyed everything in the world, still he will not be satisfied. In Bhagavad Gita 3:37, it is stated that lust, anger, and greed are the causes of the conditioned soul's bondage in this material world. Kama esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhava. When strong lusty desires for sense gratification are when they are unfulfilled, one becomes angry. This anger can be satisfied when one chastises his enemy. But when there is an increase in lobha or greed, which is the greatest enemy caused by Rajogun, the mode of passion, how can one advance in Krishna consciousness? So Prabhupada is explaining we have desire. When the desire does not get fulfilled, we get angry. Then we will have an outburst, a tantrum. We may throw like how we say, a fit of rage like that. But when the desire is satisfied, then we may get greedy. And greed, here Narad Muni is saying, has no limit. Yeah. So that's why greed is being called the greatest enemy. Desire means that's passion. That's a mode of passion, too many desires. And then one is getting into greed. Then that becomes ignorance. If one is very greedy to enhance his Krishna consciousness, this is a great boon. Tatra loyam ekala moolam. This is the best path available. So greed also can be used in Krishna consciousness. Greed for Krishna, lolyam, to increase devotional service, to become Krishna conscious. So we can, or rather, we need to apply our greed in that direction. To hear more, chant more, be very eager for Krishna. The gopis are saying, oh, the Creator does not know how to even create. He has created us eyelids. What is this? For that moment whenever we blink our eyes, we cannot see Krishna. So Creator is foolish. They are so eager for Krishna. So that kind of eagerness, that kind of greed is wanted. Lolyam. Lolyam is needed to become Krishna conscious. The eagerness to serve Krishna, to please Krishna, to be with Krishna. That is wanted. Pandita Bahavo Rajan.
पंडिता भवतो बहवो राजन्
Bahu Gyaha Samshayachidaha
बहुज्ञा संशयच्छिद्दः
Sadasaspatayopi Eke
सदस्योपतय अपि एके
Asantoshat Patanti Adaha.
असन्तोषात् पतति अधः.
O King Yudhishthir, many persons with varied experience, many legal advisors, many learned scholars, and many persons eligible to become presidents of learned assemblies, fall down into hellish life because of not being satisfied with their positions. For spiritual advancement, one should be materially satisfied. For if one is not materially satisfied, his greed for material development will result in the frustration of his spiritual advancement. There are two things that nullify all good qualities. One is poverty. Daridra dosho guna rashi nashi. If one is poverty stricken, all his good qualities become null and void. Similarly, if one becomes too greedy, his good qualifications are lost. Therefore, the adjustment is that one should not be poverty stricken, but one must try to be fully satisfied with the bare necessities of life and not be greedy. For a devotee to be satisfied with the bare necessities is therefore the best advice for spiritual advancement. Prabhupada is saying that to be poverty stricken also means all the good qualities are gone. There's no good qualities. And if one is greedy, too greedy, also the good qualifications are lost. So one may have a good qualification, but if one is poverty stricken, all those good qualities are not seen. They are neglected or they are overlooked. What comes to notice is only, oh, that this person is poverty stricken. And then if one is too greedy, he may have good qualities too. But what quality that stands out or comes to one's attention is the greed. So especially for a devotee, Prabhupada is saying that one should be satisfied with the bare necessities of life and not be greedy. Learn because so that the time can be engaged in spiritual advancement. Learned authorities in devotional life consequently advise that one not endeavor to increase the number of temples and mathas. Such activities can be undertaken only by devotees experienced in propagating the Krishna consciousness movement. All the acharyas in South India, especially Sri Ramanujacharya, constructed many big temples. And in North India, all the Goswamis of Vrindavan constructed large temples. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also constructed large centers known as Gaudiya Maths. Therefore, temple construction is not bad, provided proper care is taken for the propagation of Krishna consciousness. Even if such endeavors are considered greedy, the greed is to satisfy Krishna, and therefore these are spiritual activities. So, being greedy for Krishna, we have greed. So, how to properly channelize this greed? Be greedy for Krishna, greedy to hear more, chant more, greedy to serve more, greedy to give Krishna more to others, spread Krishna consciousness more. That is the proper way that we can channelize our greed. Is that okay?
Yes.
Did you want to add anything else?
So, so like this give Krishna also means the preaching, right? Like
Yeah,
Chaitanya
preaching.
Mahaprabhu's, yeah, the preaching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speak to others about Krishna from Bhagavad Gita, from Bhagavatam. Chant with them, have kirtan. Yeah, sit down and take prasad together.
Like how
So,
scary that dissatisfaction leads to so much in
yeah,
life.
dissatisfaction is said that all the knowledge will be lost, spiritual advancement is
Mhm.
lost. Gradually everything is lost.
So
Yeah,
like we should learn because sometimes unknowingly we forget when we are in distress or something is going on, we forget that we can just thank Krishna and be satisfied that Krishna, thank you, at least I have this much. Maybe I didn't even deserve. So if we are not doing that, then even the greater danger is ahead.
Yeah, so
Never
true.
knew this. Yeah.
Yeah, so many times it's personally happened to me also. Dissatisfaction, something may not go the way I want it to go, then dissatisfaction
Mm.
comes in instead of being grateful at that moment, you know. Yeah, so true.
But Shilpaji, I think the biggest thing is that we are not taught actually, you know, this
Yeah,
education, like how Prabhupada said that the education is lost. That if, because I think that the new generation is very logical, they understand, but they maybe the Sukriti is not there, or maybe they're not taught. So they keep on having the same samskara life after life after life. What to do?
it's true
So maybe
because
at
the
least we
general
can.
environment is like that. Yeah,
Hmm,
that's true.
hmm, hmm. So
Everywhere
maybe we
you
can
go,
start by
schools.
ourselves. Yeah, it just goes.
Yeah,
And maybe we can start by ourselves and our close ones. We can just tell them that, at least don't be dissatisfied. Just be thankful.
exactly.
Otherwise, you lead to greater danger. Now, then we know. Now, when we know. Because I never knew this. Like, even this could lead to such a great danger. And
Yeah. And better than telling others is if we can be an example, showing by
yeah,
example to others,
yeah,
you know,
that we
if
can
we can
just
actually
work
be
on
an
ourselves.
example, yeah. So
Wow.
that can help.
So important. Like, these points, they are really, really important for our progression in Krishna consciousness, our uplifting ourselves. At least if we just try to follow one of them. And I
So
think this
true.
is really, really important, very important that you
Yes,
cannot
thank
be
you. Thank you for
dissatisfied, otherwise
bringing it
everything
to
is lost.
notice. Mm. Yeah, thank you for bringing it to notice. Yeah, it's so true. So true. That with dissatisfaction, everything is lost. Yeah. Okay. We'll stop here.
Yeah.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada
Jai,
ki jai, Gaur
Jai,
Bhaktavinda ki jai. Thank you all so
Jai.
much for listening and enjoying.